Very concerned about my finances. I'm 70 years old.
Your car payment is what, 800?
It's about 750. Yeah,
almost like I've done this before. Yeah. So if you sell it today, you're debt free. Take $100,000, buy a $100,000 condo, 2-bedroom, move yourself into it. From the words you're using and the way you ask this question, that you're fairly new to this whole Ramsey discussion about money.
We have $11,000 debt on a car.
Number 6, Johnny. Life should have taken off for 46-year-old Johnny and his 40-year-old wife. Instead of providing a cushion for middle age, his finances had taken a dive, leaving him staring at the specter of old age without the benefit of a retirement fund. It was done and dusted. Johnny and his partner's fates are tied in with an auto loan mortgage and credit card debt. The situation is bleak with just $110K in savings and an income of $90 to $100K per year.
So I'm a self-employed contractor. I'm 46. My wife's 40.
Your car payment is what, 800?
It's about 750. Yeah,
almost like I've done this before. Yeah. Sometimes it behaves so we could have fun with it. All right.
We don't have anything saved for retirement. We have an auto loan, a mortgage.
See, if you invest $750 a month from your age until retirement, you'll be a millionaire. Which you did a good job, $110,000 in the bank. You're way ahead of most people, right? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
A little bit of credit card debt, and we're just wondering what the best plan moving forward is.
And no plan, no plan, and you just kind of wander along and go, I got some money saved, but sometimes it behaved for generosity, sometimes it behaved for investing.
Yeah, a couple thousand in credit card, but we usually pay that off every month.
And you have $110,000 in savings in cash.
So what advice does Ramsey have for Johnny to dig himself out of the hole he has trapped himself in?
Fell into that because it's not like you got some detailed plan going. I'm not picking on you. I just know you because I used to be you. Is that okay? And we became in charge of the money, making every dollar behave.
It varies, but I would say it's probably around 90 to 100.
Good. What we have taught and what Sharon and I did after we went broke is we got on a detailed, in-depth plan. Then what we discovered is, again, your most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. From the words you're using and the way you ask this question, that you're fairly new to this whole Ramsey discussion about money. If I woke up in your shoes, what would I do? I would take some of the $110,000 and pay off your car today.
And it's psychological. It's research in his data, in his data, in his data.
Ditch the debt. That's the golden goose formula Ramsey is advising Johnny with, and it's as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Pay up on the loans and mortgages from your savings and start investing from your yearly income, and you'll be home debt-free with a nice little retirement fund. The second stellar step is to cut up those credit cards and make a sacrifice to the money gods. Paying off the vehicle debt would leave Johnny with an entirety of his income at his disposal, from which he can put money away into his 401k as well as a kid's college fund, leaving a neat $30K for the worst of the rainy days.
When I was in my 20s, I went completely broke because I was stupid and I went into debt up to my eyeballs buying real estate. It does everything your credit card will do, and the money comes straight out of your account, so you don't have to pay it off at the end of the month. It already came out. And they invest, and they're generous.
And they pay off their house.
And then they pay off their houses the next, okay?
That's awesome.
And that has given me the control of my most powerful wealth-building tool.
What a brilliant plan. All it needs for Johnny is to stick to it like super glue.
What about the cashback advantage that we get, like the points that we earn from it?
So far, it's not caused you to be rich.
So my wife told me.
And then I would get your credit cards out and I'd cut them all up. And you were in control of your money with a written game plan where you're telling every dollar what to do.
We don't tell you to get rid of them because it's fun for us. We just look at the data, man.
Yeah.
They're not your friends, so they're not hooking you up with free money and flights every time you use their card. They're making their money.
You could enjoy life and also invest aggressively and not be broke. We find that they make every dollar behave. They're in agreement with their spouse. They quit borrowing money.
You spend more money than you would otherwise because you can just pay it off later.
Number 5, Fred. Fred from Paducah, Kentucky is simply lost. With just $6,000 in his 401k at the ripe old age of 72, Fred's goose is well and truly cooked. With $217,000 on the house, this truck driver and his retired school teacher wife are able to scrape in $95K altogether, which is the only silver lining on the thick black clouds of their horizon. But that's not all. They have another $11,000 in debt they have to cough up. Fred might be lost, but Ramsey has the perfect plan to show him the light at the end of the tunnel. Ramsey is putting Fred and his wife on austerity measures, which would make the best of them quake in their boots, but it's going to lead them out of the woods. The first step towards freedom is putting anything above a $1,000 toward debt recovery. The second is eating beans on toast for the near future. Step 3 is to save a nest egg of approximately $15,000 for an emergency. The $90K income will be feeding the 401k pretty aggressively for them to survive in comfort in their old age. And the final and most decisive sacrifice might be to liquidate the house and downscale. It's all up to Fred and Mrs. Fred. Number 4, Paul. Paul is in a financial mess all the way in Jacksonville, Florida, but that's the beauty of modern technology. He can call Ramsey to get financial advice to get him out of that mess. He is 3 months away from paying off the rest of his debt, but that has left him with a big fat zero in his retirement fund at 55 years of age. Ramsey is not mincing any words and getting straight down to business. The first order of the house is to get Paul debt-free. Second is to save up 5 to 6 months' worth of income in an emergency fund. After that, 15% of his monthly income has to be put away in his 401k. But the kicker is that he doesn't have a house and his marital relationship is not based on financial partnership. Number 3, Steve. Columbus, Ohio is Steve's base of operations, and currently he's planning up ways to shore up his finances. His primary concern is a 401k, and the impediments to it are his truck debt and his house mortgage. Right off the bat, Ramsey is directing him to pay off his debt. The second step is to build a nest egg by putting away 3 to 6 months of pay. Steve's a lucky guy, since he has around $42K saved away. That has to go into being his untouchable, never-to-remembered emergency fund. Steve's situation is pretty cozy, but he has neglected one crucial step, which is to invest his liquid cash in the right direction, which is where Ramsey comes in. Liquid cash has the habit of losing its value, and Ramsey is not a fan of loose cash lying around, and he has big plans for Steve. Number 2, Mary. Mary is stewing in her worries in Florida's balmy climate, which is doing nothing to calm her nerves down. You see, Mary might be debt-free at 59, courtesy of the house she has just sold, but she has zilch money in her 401k and no house to live out her long but old life in. It's a hot mess, with 30 months of a $400 per month lease encroaching on her income. From the house sale, she has $280K left, $10K of which she put away in her emergency fund. Her yearly earnings from private bookkeeping is $70K, which is the breath of fresh air in a stale room Ramsey has been waiting for. The cards have been laid out on the table by Mary, and it's time for Ramsey to get down to business. The first order of business is securing a home for Mary, which will require investing the remainder of the $280 into a new home. By $875, Mary should be ensconced into her new home and have a nest egg by the side. Question is, how will she do that? How to build a neat little nest egg, all the while making sure that all the mortgage on the new house is completely paid by the time Mary retires? Ramsey might be offering some pretty sour medicine for what ails Mary, but it will definitely get the job done. Instead of investing $300,000 in a new home, Mary would need to invest $200K, and it was an extremely downsized property that would leave her with around $50K in loose cash, which she would be free to invest wisely in order to build that nest egg. Working on her 401k, building a nest egg and upgrading to a better house later on, once the nest egg has piled up sufficiently, will require Mary to take on extra work and save up the money she gets from it. It would be a bitter pill to swallow, but that is the only way Mary can leave her troubles behind. Number 1, Janice. 71-year-old Janice from Oklahoma City is in quite a pickle.
Very concerned about my finances. I'm 70 years old.
I'm sorry. Now, in the future, you may be able to.
We are not in agreement about what we should do with the cash that we do have.
But right now, you've got to get a Roadster sold, you got to get your car paid off, and you got to get your house paid off.
We have $25,000 cash, no CDs, nothing. That's it.
And you got $25,000 in a Roadster to pull all this off.
The question is, we owe $27,000 on our home.
And a $2,000 income that's questionable because we don't know how much longer you can do this at 70 years old.
We have $11,000 debt on a car.
With retirement looming in her near future, she and hubby have no 401k to fall back on. They have $25K in cash saved up, but a car debt of $11,000, and another mortgage of $27,000 is soon going to gobble it up.
So we have got to get you clear of this debt before you start losing the ability to work like he has.
My husband wants to take the money that we have and pay off the car.
That's a much better mathematical equation, but I'm guessing that that's going to cause an awful lot of emotional pain.
And then he says apply the $350 a month car payment towards paying off the house. Well, and also, you know, the HOA fees would be probably such as my...
No.
My problem is I'm so stressed. I at least want to have a house to live in.
Otherwise, you're going to end up selling this house and buying a condo for $100,000 and have a $100,000 slush fund to live on and have a life.
And the way I see things, I don't think I can live anywhere cheaper than where I live right now.
Their combined Social Security comes to $2,000 with an additional $2,000 she makes from cleaning homes. Apart from that, the only thing of value they have is a roadster. The first step to bringing Janice out of her dire situation is to sell the hubby's roadster. The $10,000 that would free up can go towards mortgage payment, leaving $17,000 in savings. The next 17 months will be spent in making final house payments. Janice and her hubby will have to start living as if they're bankrupt, or she will have to sell her house and move into a $100,000 condo. The choice is up to her.
Is he able to work?
A little.
So if you sell it today, you're debt-free, take $100,000, buy a $100,000 condo, 2-bedroom, move yourself into it.
With a job that I have that is pretty physically challenging.
It's just going to come down to making the choice, Janice. Like, you're going to have to make a choice. You're either going to get out of this debt.
I'm able to do it now, but, you know, I don't know how long I'll be able to do that.
Something has to give. This is not working right now, which is why you feel that tightness in your chest. But you can fix it.
What do you make?
Probably another $2,000 a month on that.
You've got several ways to fix it, but you have to make a choice and commit to doing that.
That's all we have for you, folks. Join us next time.